Hey Satnam everyone. Welcome. Nice to be here with everybody. Glad we're doing this today. It's kind of just basically because of the schedule of our team today, we need to do it at noon, and so middle of the day broadcast, and happy for all of those who are here with us live. And I know a lot of folks will be catching the replay of this, and that's great too, because we want to spend a little time building our immune system strength and making our minds come into encouraging our minds to come into a space of calm and clarity, and whatever fear energy that is kind of circulating in worry energy that's circulating in the mind and in the body right now, which it is for most everyone, most all of us. Make sure that we're making good use of that energy and not allowing it to create negative and harmful narratives that overtake our better sense of what's going on. And so I just want to encourage everyone to, as we're watching kind of day by day with the coronavirus concerns, that you do a good job of educating yourself 100%. And I just also want to encourage you to consider at what point are you well educated for now, and then it's good to then be, like we could say, the master of your own domain, and then encourage your mind to go in whatever you could determine for yourself to be a healthy direction. And so these are the times right now that we get to actually observe and see, okay, where are we? How do we respond when there's a crisis or potential crisis? And are we in a place to where, we feel quite good about how our mind is reacting or responding, or are we getting feedback that's saying, okay, I've got some work to do in terms of when there's some triggers that potentially are going to create anxiety for me and worry for me. This is why been doing Dharma Warrior workshops and courses, and why we've been doing Joy of the Infinite workshops and courses for just this type of thing. We know that there's going to be turbulence. We know that at times it's going to feel like the rug gets pulled out from underneath us, and then we get to really discover where is our true foundation at. And so we're going to do some exercises to get us going, and then we're going to do a meditation, and we're going to see if we can use this very simple but yet very effective meditation to bring the mind into a place of calm, to where we can then have a better sense of how we want to operate and how we want to move, and have the opportunity to observe what is our mind and our emotional body doing right now. How is it responding to the current events in the world, whether it's in the Kundalini Yoga world or whether it's in the global world with health scares and so forth and so on. Because a big part of keeping your immune system strong is to keep your mind in a relatively healthy space. And if fear is dominating the mind, we know that also is a compromising for the immune system. So we want to be very wise and mindful about what narratives we are continually exposing ourselves to. And that's online or on the news and so forth. And for me, there's a difference between educating myself versus just allowing the narratives, allowing my mind to be subjected to potentially unhelpful narratives over and over and over again. And instead, I want to make sure I'm at least balancing that out with exposing my mind to narratives, or subjecting my mind to narratives that I believe are going to be healthy and strengthening during a time like this. which is why I'm going to recommend a new book for everyone to read, and perhaps a book that many of you have read in the past. It's one that we've had in our home for a long time, and Simrit read it many years ago, and that's the classic Shambhala, the Shambhala classic, but from Pema Chodron, When Things Fall Apart. Very appropriate for right now on so many levels, and so if we're doing a good job of educating ourselves in terms of just being well informed, and then we're also balancing what other narratives our minds are being exposed to with a good healthy dose of how does a wise yogi, a wise person, utilize and navigate when things are difficult, when fear is accumulating or arising in our minds and in our bodies, when worries are potentially dominating our life at any given moment. How do we navigate that with good wisdom and not try to push it away, but actually embrace it and allow it to teach us? And that's what I want to do today, is to encourage the life force energy within the mind and the body to arrive in such a space to where we're able to witness whatever it is that we're currently experiencing, no matter what that is, and allow it to be a teacher for us, as opposed to something that we're either consciously or subconsciously pushing away or gripping onto. If we experience some blissful situation, then the tendency is we grip onto it and say that, this is what I was going after. Or if we experience some difficult situation, like we're experiencing worry, fear, overwhelm, tremendous doubts, then we try to push those away, potentially subconsciously or consciously, because that's not what we're going after. So what I want to encourage for today is that we're utilizing the practice, as we always do, simple practices, as we always do, in order to encourage the life force to center itself in the organism, so that we have the capacity or more capacity to experience whatever it is that we're experiencing as a teacher. And so in that spirit, let's begin, and let's do some exercises. And I'm going to teach a little meditation that I've taught a good handful of times over the years, but not a lot, but it's very simple. And I think especially for those of you that may feel like you want to keep your practice very simple right now, I still encourage everyone, if you're enjoying it, to continue using that pranic meditation for the heart center. But in addition to that, or in as another option, we're going to do another meditation that I actually don't know the name of, but it's a good one, and it's simple, and I think you'll enjoy the experience. Okay, so let's tune in. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Come onto your hands and knees. Now let's start warming up. Inhaling, the head is coming up. Exhaling, the head is coming down. Nice, smooth rhythm. simply work with what you've got. So you've got breath, you've got body, and perhaps you have feeling, you have emotion, and whatever it is that the space you find yourself, embrace that space and practice from that place as your starting point. If there's worry, feel worry and breathe. If there's pleasure, feel pleasure and breathe. But not grasping onto or pushing away anything in particular. Go your own pace. It can be a little, if you feel like you need to move more powerfully or breathe more powerfully, do that. If you feel like you need very calm and very slow, do it that fashion. Inhale deeply and exhale. The head is down, push the spine up. Good, and come up to sitting on your heels. And then hands on your lap. Lift through the chest, exhale back. Now, deeper the breathing. And sit, na, sit, na, sit, na, 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 na. Now deep inhale, suspend the breath, root lock in, third eye gaze, and very still. Exhale. Beautiful. And then take your, come back to easy. Hands are like here, heart wide open, root lock is in, the rectum sex organ up and in, chest out, shoulder blades release, chin slightly tucked, third eye gaze, inhale lift, exhale right. Breath is powerful, the mind is relaxed, centering the life force in the body. Into the center, inhale deeply. Third eye, very still. Exhale. Beautiful. Just be still for a moment. Let the breath flow naturally in the body. Let things settle. And then hands on your knees and it could be double that, like so if you want to be in the rhythm of it, which I always think is when it works, it's a nice idea. It helps to put everything in rhythm. So you got set, no, set, no, set, no, set, no, set, no, set. Or it could be a set, no, set, no, set. Inhaling up, exhale, releasing. The root lock is lifted up, chest is out, chin is slightly in. Meditative, relaxed gaze. And inhale, squeeze up. Exhale. I guess it's possible that in the coming weeks, online yoga classes could be very popular. You know? So, hey, we had such a beautiful time on Monday going to San Francisco. And there was just so much uncertainty that morning. And really that being the first kind of big event that we have done since all the turbulence and transformation process began in the Kundalini Yoga community. So there was that. And then there was the coronavirus, and the Bay Area, you know, is one of the spots where, you know, there's more concern than other places in the U.S. And but then there's just this deep intuitive sense that we need to go and we need to do this work and we need to. It's a big space, cathedral-like space, so we felt comfortable in terms of, you know, just being healthy, and it just seemed to us like it's a time, you know, for do something healing. And Simra and Salif and Devin and then our brother Kenyatta all played exquisitely, provided the live music. And it really was just, you know, you could feel the tenderness and just the energy of the people and us, and and just that sense of great uncertainty. And those are actually, for yogis, wonderful energies to work with. And we get to sometimes, reach parts of ourselves that are much more difficult to access when things are real smooth and things feel relatively stable. And so, we were going to a venue we had never been to before. We had some, even that group of musicians, they hadn't all played together before. There was uncertainty in the world of Kundalini Yoga. There was uncertainty with the people's concerns for coming out in terms of health. There's just all this, and it just felt like that going down. Like even driving into the city, we passed the cruise ship that had been docked in the Oakland harbor, that where so many people, beautiful people are being quarantined on that ship. So it was just like a really interesting kind of like, wow, here we go. And, and without a doubt, I'm like, all right, should we be doing this? Certainly those thoughts have been crossing my mind, but there was a deeper voice that was saying, yes, do this. And so we did, and it was just, I was so happy. There was well over 100 people there. It was just, a beautiful night of yoga and meditation, really simple. And for us, it felt like it really helped us kind of move through a threshold. Not that it's a threshold of like, okay, past that, nothing like that, but just energetically in terms of our own vitality and our own, sense of how we're navigating everything right now on just many levels. There's so much going on. And just also knowing that it's like, wow, this stuff really helps us. And just even our ability, I've been so inspired by our team, and I've been so inspired by the people around us. I've been so inspired by really the global community. And while there's been a lot of, sometimes you get on the social media side of things, depending where you are, there can be some real kind of, what I would consider really not useful energy. And in terms of, how people are interacting with each other. But by and large, I've been so inspired by just people and the people's response to crisis in very various ways. And I just want to share that with all of you, because there was a tremendous amount of uncertainty going to San Francisco. And by the end of the night, we were just, didn't get home till like 2 a.m. But it was just such a beautiful drive home, because it was just, like this is life, And so there's plenty of uncertainty ahead for all of us. And part of what a good sadhana is for me is to just continually endeavoring to arrive into that space where I know I'm going to be okay, no matter what's happening in our lives, that I know I'm taken care of at a very deep substantive level. That's shunya. And these are the same things we've been saying all along the way, but right now it just somehow seems to have even much more meaning, and we're getting to experience it at a like, okay, here it is. Now this is what we've been talking about. This is what we've been telling ourselves. All right, now let's see, is it real? And so let's do this little immune system booster. And you're going to have, and next week I'm going to do some Ayurvedic classes, webcasts that'll be open to everyone. And we'll be encouraging folks to also, study the Ayurveda course for those who resonate and want to and are able to. But we'll be doing some herbalism classes and some Ayurveda classes, just comprehensive building vitality. Understanding for the long haul, how do we stay healthy? How do we keep ourselves healthy? How do we take care of ourselves? And then also, how do we use those same principles to optimize our mind and our body for the yogic processes? And I've said so many times over the years that when I went to study Ayurveda, I had a lot of ideas of why I wanted to do that. But perhaps the most important thing that happened is that I realized over time, Ayurveda explained to me really the science of Kundalini Yoga. And now in this moment in time, I'm being reminded of how important that foundation, or part of that it's part of the foundation in which I moved from, has become and just has been over the years, often just unbeknownst to me at times. All right, Gyan Mudra, index finger to thumb, heart open, and we're gonna go for 90 seconds. Stick the tongue out, open the mouth. It doesn't have to be super aggressive. Just do the best you can. Tune into your own body and breathe with the sense of what your body could use right now. Good, keep going. 10 seconds. Inhale. Under tongue, roof of the mouth, press. And squeeze the body tight. Squeeze your spine. And through the nose, exhale. And inhale. Squeeze the body tight. Under tongue, roof of the mouth, press tight. Exhale. And then inhale deep. Squeeze deep. Deep. Exhale. Beautiful. Good. Raise your arms up. And then shake. And shake, shake, shake. Shake out some stagnation of the energy. Shake, 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 shake. Good. Relax. And bring your arms 60 degrees. Last one, then our meditation. Thumbs are out, fingers are tucked, heart wide open, third eye gaze. Inhale. Breath of fire. Ladies, if you're on your moon cycle or pregnant, long, deep breathing. Now keep up. Now visualize a beautiful arc of light connecting the two thumbs. And imagine your heart like a brilliant ball of light, beaming rays of energy in every direction, spreading compassion and love in all places, to all beings, to all peoples everywhere. As far as you can imagine, extend your sense of compassion as far as you can imagine. 10 seconds. Inhale. Thumb tips. Stretch. Inhale some more. Stretch up. Stretch up. Stretch. Exhale. You know, sometimes maybe turn off the news, close the laptop, put the device away, turn on music you love, turn up the volume, make sure there's good bass pumping. You know what I mean? Play it loud till it makes you want to dance. Maybe just sometimes, if possible, choose to just feel happy, you know, regardless of everything that's going on. That's your power of happiness, is regardless of what's going on, and it's not absence of pain, it's not absence of worry, it's not absence of discomfort. It's embracing all of that and choosing to live joyfully in the midst of that, or at least endeavoring to choose to live joyfully. And that's what largely it is. As a yogi, we're working to develop is the power of choice, because that's what life force strength gives you. Is if there's life force strength, life force vitality gives mental vitality. Mental vitality gives me the power to choose. I can choose to be calm, or I can choose to be anxious. I can choose if I'm going to allow the worry another way of saying that would be, I can choose to indulge the worry, or I can choose to feel the worry and allow it to bring me into deeper truth, and allow it to assist me in seeing what it is that is actually happening within me, within my experience. And that's why I'm really want to encourage everyone to consider reading with us. I'll be reading it as well. You in? All right, Charlotte's in. You in, Aki? When things fall apart. When things fall apart. Pema Chodron. And you know, who knows? Maybe there's a Tea Time 2.0 in the works, and we'll get together. And how about like by next week? Let's all have read, at least the first, they're short chapters. It's a short book, first 5 or 6 chapters by, say, this time next week, midweek, Wednesday next week. God willing, we'll be in Maui, where we have teaching events, but we'll be able to get on Facebook Live in our group and connect with everyone and chat about it. So, those long airplane rides, we may finish the book. So anyhow, let's do this meditation together. And again, it's very, very simple. And I'm just going to play this great recording. I know people have asked about what this is. I'll tell you what it is. It is called The Perfect Jewel, the Sacred Chants of Tibet by the Kyoto Monks Tantric Choir. And this was recorded at Lucas Ranch Studios, so George Lucas's studios of Star Wars fame, and it was recorded by Mickey Hart of the Grateful Dead. He engineered this recording of the Kyoto Choir, the Kyoto Monks Tantric Choir. So that's on wherever you get your music, you can find that. It's called, if you Just type in the perfect jewel. So what you're going to do is bring all 5 fingertips together. Thumb tips, index, middle, ring, pinky. And they're touching gently together. And you hold your heart up high. Your chin is slightly in. And your eyes will be closed. And you're going to be inhaling through the nose for a count of 5, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you suspend the breath for a count of 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to slowly exhale for a count of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you're going to continue in that fashion for 11 minutes, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, suspending 3, 4, 5, and exhaling 2, 3, 4, 5, and just count on your own. And use this practice to, through the process of 11 minutes, allow the mind to settle. In the mind's process of settling, it may get very reactive, and you may experience much resistance on the way to 11 minutes. And do your best, if however possible, to stay in the posture and to stay with the breath. And when the mind distracts or becomes thinking in other directions, simply bring it back to the breath and to the counting. Eventually you'll pass through a threshold, and it may even be at the final moments of the meditation where the life force will center itself in the body and the mind will come into a relative calm. Eyes closed into the third eye. Keep bringing your mind back to the breath, to the slow, meditative counting. Encouraging the life force to center itself, the mind to stabilize.
Satyanarayan, Vaheguru, Hari Narayan.
Halfway there. Stay with it.
Satyanarayan, Vaheguru, Hari Narayan. Satyanarayan, Vaheguru, Hari Narayan. Satyanarayan.
Exhale the breath. Inhale deep. Suspend the breath and go into total stillness, suspension of the mind, suspension of the body, suspension of the breath. And exhale, relax into a meditative posture. Let the body breathe organically, naturally. And just be in total stillness. And take the hands to prayer pose. Sanam. Right on, everyone. So I recommend doing that particular meditation in the evening times before going to bed right now. So consider that. And you could, right now, to me, this is a time for, at least 2 good meditation sessions per day. The morning, of course, ideal, to me, most important time. And then evening time before bed, second most important time. And so that's my recommendation. I'm going to head over. I'm going to go next door where our internet is stronger, and then come on to our Facebook group for just a little bit. What time is it? Hey, look at that. A broadcast in less than an hour. And all sorts of changes happening. So let's connect over there. Love you all. Take care of yourselves. Lots of vitamin C. And, whatever you do to keep your body healthy and strong, do that. Satnam.